Good morning, my pregnant goddesses. Welcome to our morning yoga. So today, I want you to first go get yourself a glass of water. I was thinking about this, and one thing that helps me is if I drink water right before I do any yoga. And I try to make sure that I always have a glass of water beside my bedside when I wake up so that I drink that first thing in the morning. So I'm going to stop and drink some water, and you guys go do the same. If you're watching the replay, just pause and go drink some water. All right, now that we've done that healthy habit, we'll save the rest for the end. Find a comfortable position. I like to sit on something. You can use like a nice yoga block, but just a pillow works really good too. And wherever you are, you just need a flat open space, nothing special. Come into a nice seated position. By the way, if the cross-legged position isn't working, let's say that that's creating some discomfort in your pelvis, or kind of right where that pubis bone is, I'm going to just kind of quickly show you an alternate way of sitting. So if that's the case, and this is true if you have any sort of pelvic issues and cross-legged sitting aggravates it. Instead, what we kind of want is this type position, but often this is kind of too hard on the knees. So if you grab either a couple pillows, or you grab one of these kind of bolsters. Bolsters are a great investment, by the way. They cost a little bit, but they are well worth it. You put your feet on either side, and then you sit down like this. If your knees are still uncomfortable, all you need to do is add a block or a pillow to kind of give you just a little bit more height. And this is a nice kind of position where your back is nice and long. It's easy on your whole body, and it's great just to kind of do our quiet centering at the beginning. So pick your position for centering. Let your eyes gently close. Tune into the rhythm of your breath. Feel the rise and fall of the breath in your chest and also in your belly. Feel it rocking your baby back and forth. And then go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. Maybe it's just to feel a little better in your body, to connect with your baby, to stretch your muscles, whatever it is. And then we're ready to begin. So always just starting with some nice gentle warm-up movements. I love to focus on my shoulders. I think I'm probably not alone in that I carry some tension up here. This is kind of a spot where a lot of us carry tension, especially if you, a lot of our work habits kind of increase that. So we're gonna let that go. When you're doing this stretch, make sure that you keep your shoulders down. If you kind of keep your shoulder up and do this, you're not gonna get anywhere nice a stretch. All right, so shoulder down and across. Breathe into that. And just let it feel good. I think for me, yoga is a lot about feeling good in your body. I think it was one of the big gifts of yoga in my life. And then do a couple shoulder rolls. We're going to create some space in the front of the body. So we're going to just touch the floor and then just open. And really reach, extend out into space as far as you can. Good. And let's do the other side. When when you do movements like this, it helps to create that feeling like there's enough room inside of you for both you and your baby. That's what this one is about. And whenever you're holding your yoga poses, use your breaths as a way to count them. By counting your breaths, it keeps you really centered in your body, which is a good place to be doing yoga. All right, let's warm up the spine. We're just going to curl the spine, and then we're going to inhale and arch. And we're going to curl and inhale and arch. This is a really good one that you can do at your desk if you do a day job or an evening job or any kind of job. This is an awesome one to keep your spine feeling good throughout the day. All right, and then finally, let's just do one for the head and neck. So just letting the head roll from one side all the way through to the other. Let's do that 2 more times. And last time. All right. And there are mornings where I feel like I really want to do like a really vigorous standing practice. There are other mornings where I just don't. Like I do sometimes there's mornings where I just do a seated yoga stretches. And so I thought today I'd just kind of give you permission that you don't always have to do a yoga practice that's really like, vigorous. That all kinds of different yoga practices have their place. So I thought today we'd start with something gentle, right on the ground. So we're going to come into all fours. This is a great position in pregnancy because it helps to encourage your baby to lay spine facing forward, which is the best position really for your comfort, for theirs. Nobody's spine is pressing on anyone else's, so it tends to be a more comfortable position. So we're going to just start with, I like to call this one the happy puppy, because you are just going to imagine that you have a tail and you are just wagging it. And then from here, we're going to do a few more. We're going to do a shoulder stretch. You're just going to take your hands out a little bit further. You're going to leave your bum in the air, and you're just going to let your shoulders start to move and your forehead down towards the ground. Your forehead might touch the ground like mine is right now, or it might just hover, and that's okay. Then we're going to bring our hands back. If at any point your hands or your wrists start to feel not so good, just go up onto an open fist, just kind of like this. All right. And then the next stretch, I like to call it the super mom. Sometimes people call it the sunburn. But what we're going to do is we're going to stretch. Before we actually stretch back, I think it's important to kind of put that supporting leg kind of a little over into the center, because this is where we're headed, okay? This posture right here. But before we go there, we've got to make sure our alignment is good. So we're going to take our navel and we're going to give baby a hug. That means that you're drawing your navel in a little. That's going to make sure that it protects your low back. Okay? So here we go. We're drawing the navel in. Then we're extending out with the leg. And the opposite arm is extending. You can look at your mat or you can look out ahead of you. Whichever feels better for your body. Now, if you do this pose and suddenly it doesn't feel good back here. Sometimes if there are sciatic issues happening in your pregnancy, this pose won't feel good like this. If that is the case, here's your adaptation, okay? You're going to just float your knee right here. And you'll still get that same benefit of the core as if you had the leg stretched out. Okay, and then release. That one's a kind of a strong one. We're going to give the wrists a little bit of a break. So we're going to come down onto our forearms. And again, we're just going to do that happy puppy. Good. Now let's do that other side. So, stretching the leg out, drawing the navel in, or bringing the knee up like so, if that's more appropriate for your body today. Opposite arm, you got to get that arm opposite arm, otherwise it'll be much harder to balance. Choosing your gazing point, whether that's straight down or out ahead of you. And again, we're counting our breaths to determine the length of the hold in this position. And then we're going to release, come back down. Sometimes the moms in my classes have nicknamed this posture right here that I'm doing as get your baby off your bladder. So if you've ever felt like your baby is just sitting on your bladder, this is a good one to help them move a little closer to your lungs and give you a little relief that way. And then here's one of my favorite poses for the spine. So this is like a vertical circle. So you're going to take your navel, you're going to take it over to one side, take it up, take it over to the other, and take it down. And you're just going to make circles with your belly and your baby. And it's really going to move your spine through its full range of motion. We're going to do a couple like this, and then we're just going to head the opposite direction. So exactly the same movement, just going the other way. And then comes child's pose. Child's pose is just like icing on a cake. So your knees are spread apart so that there's space to accommodate baby. You're letting your bum come down as close to your heels as it comes in your body. So in some bodies it'll just come to about there. In other bodies your hips will come all the way down to your feet. Whichever is just fine. You just follow your body. And then you're going to lean on either some pillows or a bolster. So you can put it right under your forehead and rest like this. You can put it underneath your chest. This is my personal favorite because it just feels like so good. Or you can bring it all the way in so that the bolster is much further back and lean sort of over your whole body. Whichever kind of feels best for you. And we're just going to surrender. No more work. Just feeling that. And just switching head position so that your neck gets a chance. And go ahead and just stay there for a few moments. You can actually do this posture as relaxation. So for today, I'm gonna just sit because it's easier for me to lead relaxation, but you can do your relaxation in child's pose, especially in the morning if you don't have a long time. Child's pose is very, very restorative. So just either going to your side and laying on your side if that feels better, but if you're happy in child's pose, go ahead, stay there for our quick 2-minute relaxation. So like I said, I always close my eyes because it's easier for me to lead. So just take a few nice deep breaths. Let all the muscles release, relax, and let go. No more muscular effort is necessary. Let your exhalations extend. Feel the release that happens as you exhale. Letting go of anything that you no longer need. So any tension, physically, but also emotionally. So any worries that may have been weighing you down. Just letting them go with your breath so you have space for something new. And as you breathe in, just ask the question, be curious. What is it that I need right now? What quality? Maybe you need a little bit of hopefulness. Maybe you need a little bit of silliness, irreverence. Maybe you need a little more support. Whatever it is, no judgment. Just as you're inhaling, just be curious and listen to your inner voice. What do you need today? And draw it in. Like the universe or God is just presenting it to you. And all you have to do is just have that open heart to receive it. Good. And then gently coming back to a seated position, and we'll close with our blessing, bringing your hands into prayer position. Bow your head and bless yourself. Bless your baby. And each other. All the women in this tribe who are doing this practice together. Namaste. Have a great day. I'll see you next Friday.